Well, we should be concerned, first of all, because it is very clear that Russia is using indiscriminate force against civilian targets. So the invasion started by the bombing of airfields across the country, much more aggressively than a lot of us thought would happen. So it included eastern Ukraine as well as western Ukraine, which was sort of seen as like going to be a lot safer. So that's how it started, but then we started to see some civilian targets being hit, so housing complexes, residential neighborhoods, stuff like that. And that has just gotten worse and worse and worse over the past 2 weeks. So the two main cities that we're seeing a lot of news from is Kharkiv, which is in eastern Ukraine. It's less than 30 miles, I think, from the Russian border. That was supposed to be one of those Russian cities that was going to just welcome the Russians with open arms, and that is not what has happened at all. The other major city that we're dealing with right now is Mariupol, which is a port city on the Azov Sea in the south, and that city is under siege right now. Many of your viewers probably saw the footage of bombing of a maternity hospital that happened today. The Russian press was claiming that there was a Nazi battalion at the maternity hospital.
Wow.
I mean, they're just making things up at this point. They actually deleted some of their tweets lying about that because there was so much outrage about them trying to claim that they hadn't actually bombed a maternity hospital when they had. So, and you know, Mariupol is there's no connection there, right? So people who know people in Mariupol, we haven't heard from them in 2 weeks, really. And there's no food, there's no medicine. There was a report of children dying of dehydration. So it's not just this indiscriminate bombing and killing of civilians that way. It's this long, drawn-out process of putting these cities under siege to break the populations and not let them leave. That's the other thing that's happening, has happened a couple of times, is that negotiations between Russia and Ukraine, they agreed on a humanitarian corridor to get civilians out, and then Russia dropped bombs on some of the lines of people. These there are people who are working to document these as war crimes, and I think that is a good move. So, you know, that's something that we should care about, I think, just because we're humans, and these are things that are awful that no human should ever have to live through.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm going to take a second.
Of course,
and, yeah,
take your
thank
time.
you.